For updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Akerejola joins us from Rabat in Morocco. Morning, Aaron.
Yes, a very good morning to you, Ayo. And let's get it started today. I want to tell you that one particular man here in Rabat, to be very precise, the Dar es Salaam Royal Golf Center, has actually shone like a million stars. His name is Stephen Pate, and at the moment, he actually had a 6 under par 67 for the 18th hole, which is almost a record. He actually tied that particular record, and he's in blistering form right now, and it's looking like he might be getting that royal dagger at the moment as he edges closer to that maiden PGA Tour Champions victory. So at the moment, Stephen Pate is the one leading when you actually look at the leaderboard here in Rabat, because behind him is the likes of Alan from New Zealand, Hensby, who are also tied for 4th, Gonzalez, and the American Parrell. So America is heavily dominating this particular one. Remember, 66 champions actually came from the American PGA for this championship, and at the moment, one of those 66 is actually leading, and he's in pole to actually pick up that royal dagger. Now, away from that quickly, let's actually talk about the fact that at the moment, I must say, the Super Falcons are built to play Cameroon in a doubleheader, an Olympic qualifier. We are hoping that the Super Falcons will shine where they've stumbled in time past, because you look at how things have actually played out with the Olympics qualification, knowing and noting that Nigeria has a rich vein of history when it comes to the Olympics and football, especially for the men. The men have failed to qualify. We're hoping that this time around, the females will qualify, because they shone like a million stars, although they didn't get as far as they expected to go at the World Cup, at the Female World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. But this time around, they are the best team on the continent, and they'll be hoping to prove that when they take on Cameroon in a double header. Away from that, let's talk about Dani Alves, the former Barcelona and Brazil star, who has been sentenced to 4.5 years for sexual assault. And at the moment, that particular verdict is drawing quite a lot of criticism, because he should have gotten more, but save the fact that Nima, his friend, his family decided to pay a fine of 150,000 euros. That meant that he got a reduced sentence. And as a matter of fact, some are even saying the Spanish criminal court system is a joke, because the penal code in Spain states that if Dani Alves asks to probably be expelled from the country, he can be expelled from the country, never to return again, and he will not have to serve any kind of sentence. But of course, a judge has to actually give the approval for that to actually happen. But at the moment, he has been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. And so Brazilians continue this very ugly record, because Robinho also, looking at how things have actually played out, also he's found himself in the web of the law. Maybe not in Spain, but they need to do better when it comes to Brazilians and footballers, and more importantly, the fact that most of them do not live a stellar lifestyle. And finally, before I come to you, a quick update. Now, we now hear that the Nigeria Basketball Federation, the NBBF, are making a huge U-turn, and the players will be attending that Afro-Basket qualifier, which kicks off this weekend. And there are talks that the minister actually had a meeting with the president of the Nigeria Basketball Federation, Musa Kida, and they've been able to come to some sort of consensus addendum that would see the players go and represent Nigeria, hopefully qualify for the Afro-Basket in 2025, and hopefully all is well at the moment. But for now, those are just the words coming out from the Federation.
Aaron, you have just given me something for the weekend. Yeah. It's like, enjoy your weekend for me, because it will have been a big shame on Nigeria. And please, we would like to call on those in authority. Let this not happen again. Like we say in Nigerian Palace, this must not repeat itself. That's a big relief. I'm sure a sense of, reason has prevailed in this matter, but we must now go further to put structures in place at which we're going to administer our sport. We need to be able to get this right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's because yesterday we just talked about that. I was hopeful that the advocacy and a number of people who would come out to speak about this would galvanize the Federation to action. And of course, the ministry as well. And to see this happen is great news. And I hope that this would work across, like I mentioned before, beyond football, we have basketball, we have swimming, we have many athletics and boxing, many opportunities in sports for Nigeria, and even potential for revenue in terms of the the competitors who go out to represent Nigeria on the global scene. So that's really great news to hear. But just a quick question for you with regards to expectations. I know you're in Rabat, Morocco for the King Hassan II golf tournament. So can you just give us in terms of what to look forward to this weekend? I know there's also a side-by-side women's tournament as well taking place. And so just to share with us today and the rest of the weekend.
All right, quickly on that, like I said earlier on, at the moment, one man is looking in pole position to finally finish top of the leaderboard and actually pick up that royal dagger. And his name is Stephen Pate. It's been quite competitive, I must say. Clement weather, what the golfers do like, and the green has been very lush. Although this morning it's a little bit wet because, as you can see behind me, it's drizzling a little bit. But I must commend the organizers of this particular competition, because it's competitions like this that give both outsiders, because Moroccans who are not so proficient in golf in terms of rankings and in terms of points on the board will get an opportunity to probably mix it up with the biggest of the best when it comes to golf. We might not have some of the stellar names attend this particular circuit, but we have people with reasonable rankings on the board attending, and it is a big booster, and it can only get better, because when you keep opening your athletes, when you keep opening your players to international tourneys, they get better, they get stronger, they get more proficient, and before you can say Jack Robinson, you'll find some of them actually trying to break the glass ceiling.
Okay, talking about the Tigers, the reports this morning indicate that they are already in Tunisia. But should anybody be shocked? The players, the basketballers themselves are not shocked. And their position is that in any case, the Ministry of Sports and the various federations tend to pay more attention to football rather than other sports, which is why, we have this kind of messy situation. But if it is any consolation, it's not only in Nigeria that they don't pay bonuses, so that they don't make funds available for sporting activities. Look at Ghana, the Black Queens. They are to play Zambia today. In the last 2-3 days or so, the big issue was that each of the players was being owed $7,500 in terms of unpaid bonuses over the past few months. And the Queens, we were told, were threatening not to file out today against Zambia. But the chairperson of the Black Queens team now said, well, the girls will play even if they don't get the money. And typical Nigerian story, like Nigeria, like Ghana, that money is not processed quickly by ministry, these things don't come quickly. So you have, the Black Queens of Ghana also fighting that. As for the Super Falcons, Falconets, well, we hope they win. They now have their coach back. That's Randy Waldrum. They couldn't go to the last two Olympic tournaments, but we hope that they will be able to make it to Paris 2024. And talking about the weekend, Liverpool, they managed to beat Luton 4-1, but Liverpool is depleted. And they have a match, the League Cup, right? I think it's the League Cup on Sunday against Chelsea. You're right. Against Chelsea, will Jurgen Klopp be able to do anything with all his stars, down with injury?
All right, Doctor, speaking about Jurgen Klopp, this is why he's actually paid premium at the moment, to be able to tinker with his team and actually get the very best out of the players. That is why you actually sign up a huge roster to be able to accommodate for injuries, which is part of the game, if you'd ask me. And Chelsea will be hoping that they can lay their hands on silverware. Mauricio Pochettino has had a mixed start to his coaching career with Chelsea, and he'll be hoping to probably put a silverware to probably lay some fears to rest. For Jurgen Klopp, we know that he's already signed enough in terms of his managerial career for Liverpool, and this is the first silverware for the season, and both teams will be going out for it. It's going to be red versus blue. It's going to be Klopp against Poch, and I must tell you that they've actually met in finals in previous time. It was Klopp that was coming out, who came out tops, I beg your pardon, in the last time out when they actually met in the UEFA Champions League final. Albeit so, it was a very, very boring UEFA Champions League final, one of the worst in the history of the game. We'll be hoping that this time around, with Poch actually changing allegiances from white to blue, that he will be able to galvanize his team. But at the moment, the bets are on Liverpool to actually pick this one up, regardless of the injuries to Curtis Jones, regardless of the injuries to key players. They still have enough in the tank, more than enough in the tank to bring Chelsea to its knees and probably completely dominate that particular trophy.
Okay, we'll see what happens on Sunday as Liverpool files out for the first major trophy effort this weekend. Thank you very much, Aaron.